Hey guys, it's Mike the Wrestling God Smith, and you're watching All in Wrestling. This video is actually my Aew Dynamite review. I got some thoughts on it. Like, it was a really good episode of Dynamite. I'm not gonna say it wasn't because there's a lot of story happening. There's a lot of good stories happening right now. Um, but the one that I kind of want to talk about to kind of start us off is like I do like the fact that we got a tag match between Christian and Hangman, like the patriarchy with Hangman, and it was, Hangman against Jay White. I do like the story that they're putting on together. I do like the story that they're putting on together. Like, that's not my biggest problem with it. I think it was fantastic. There was a lot of you know, feeling like they were out trying to outdo each other, or basically feel like he's gonna turn his back on him. And the thing is, he ends up the thing is, Juice Robinson, I say this dude is a fantastic performer. Like, I've seen him in Japan, like New Japan, I would say 2015, 2016, like all throughout his career. And I'm like, I like this dude because he does so good. And it's you know, the crowd loves him. Like, Jay White comes up with the Blade Runner outside and he gets him with the drop kick, and then and then Hangman does he does the lariat. He does the buckshot lariat, and he gets him for a 2. Then he hits him with the dead eye, gets him for a 1. And the crazy thing is, I don't see how Kip Sabian fits the patriarchy. I like the fact the Hook came out and take Nick Wayne. I'm still trying to wonder what happened to him because he got taken, and he just grabs him, and it kind of reminds, he did say he was gonna take them out one by one. So Hook to go, Nick Wayne, he's the first victim. I think Kip Sabian probably the second guy. But what I loved about it was they kept going back and forth. Kip Sabian's trying to tell Christian that Nick has been taken. He's focusing on the match, and Mama Wayne's doing the same thing. Mama Wayne tries to get involved, and literally, you see Jay White there. He's trying to get the pin. He only gets a 2 count, and then as soon as he's about to do the Blade Runner, Juice Robinson to do the Juices Loose, and he literally gets hit with the contract briefcase and hits him in the head, and then gets the 1, 2, 3. That was good. I do like I think Christian, and I think they're gonna end up. He's probably gonna end up joining the patriarchy or something, because the way they did the photo, the camera angle, that was good. Then we got then we got to hear from then we got to hear from Will Ospreay. And I gotta say, I love that promo between him and Kyle Fletcher. And I just love this dude's evolution. Like, dude, he looks great. He looks like a great heel. I'm gonna say this dude is on fire, which I love. And I love that he's just I love that he is literally trying to prove the thing that I loved about the heel thing that he said. He was like, well, I called y'all. He was like, I called y'all last week, and you were licking your wounds. You fed me when I needed it. You took care of me. You did everything. But you took everything. And he's like, Don Callis opened my eyes. And what I loved about when Will came out, and he was like, yo, I just want to, because we open up to it, and he's like, Will just comes out. Everybody loves him. Everybody's chanting for him. And he's like, everybody's saying, Ospreay, 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 Ospreay. And he's like, thank you guys, love ya. And he comes out, and he's like, you know what? And then Kyle Fletcher comes out. He comes out. His music, his entrance, I think, is amazing. I think that I love the fact that Mark Davis is involved, but I'll get to that in a minute. He comes out, and Will Ospreay says, look, I know how I've been in these Don Callis family meetings. I'm not gonna hurt you. Whatever you got in your pocket, take it out. And he takes out the screwdriver, and then Will throws it into the thing. He throws it into the floor. It gets stuck. And then Kyle Fletcher goes on and says, look, he goes on. No, Will goes on and says, look, I got some answers. I got answers. You know what? I'm not mad at I lost the championship, but he's like, my bet, and and he just and Kyle is just saying like, bro, you did the same thing to Okada, you did the same thing to Kenny, and I'm doing the same thing you would do, the exact same thing. And Don Callis has opened my eyes. I'm gonna be better than you. I'm trying to be better than you, and I'm gonna surpass you in every way. And then Will comes in and says, look, he's like, you see, you're trying to be like, which is it? You're trying to be better than me. You're trying to not be me. You're trying to be Kyle Fletcher. You're trying to be an Osprey clone. And he comes in and says, bro, what have you done? Bro, what have you done? What has Kyle Fletcher done? Not United. I brought you. He's like, bro, I brought you to my house. You slept in my house. You met my wife. You've met my son. You've picked him up with me. And I'm like, bro, I don't care about my neck, but my arm, my little boy's holding. We're watching TV, and he can't even feel. I can't even feel that he's holding me. And he's like, and he's literally going, and he was like, bro, what have you done? He's like, what has Kyle Fletcher done? Not what Ozzy Open, not with United Empire. What has Kyle Fletcher even done? He's like, there's been 4 world championships, and I've bested them all. And he's like, what this is about, you want your 5-minute fame with Will Ospreay. You want your 5-minute pay-per-view with Will Ospreay. He said, and then he says, 24th of November, Full Gear, you're on. And he was, and you know what? Like, what I love about the promo, he's speaking facts. Like, he's like, yo, Kyle, what have you done? And Kyle Fletcher is one of those dudes that I think has immense potential, right? He has immense potential. But I think he's gotta be Will at Full Gear. I love like what they're doing. I love that like they're about to like, he says that to him and he says, yo, he's like, well, I'm not trying to take a piece. I'm not gonna just take a piece of you. I'm gonna take everything. And I like that back and forth with him. I like the whole back and forth with him because I'm like, yo, it makes sense. I was like, he was speaking facts last night. Like that I loved. I love that Hobbs came in and Ricochet came in and you had Lance Archer and Brian Cage back him up. Like I like what they're doing with this storyline. Like this storyline makes sense. And then you get Mark Davis. And him and Mark Davis and they're fighting off. Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher go back to back fighting about the fight. Like literally don't know that they're back to back. They spook each other. And then he sees Will, he pushes him off. He says, yo, you're gonna have to, he still says you're gonna have to make a decision. Mark Davis leaves, and then you see Will and Hobbs and everybody and Ricochet come in and beat him. That's what I loved about that promo. That was fun. I even love the fact that I even love them. Like I love that Mio Shirakawa. I love what she's doing with Holly Cameron. I still don't like, but her and Holly Cameron doing the boob thing was hilarious to me. Like, and Renee just gets flustered, and I'm like, yo, I love what they did, and they frustrated her, and I was like, yo, that works. I'm glad she's back. But what I also love is that um Ishii wants to challenge Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree just still they had a good segment, but I still feel like Big Bill and Brian Keefe. I'm like Brian Keefe has so much potential, but they're not doing nothing with him, and I'm like they're just eating losses, man. And what I love what Mox said, he was like, what I love about his promo, because he came up and he was in the truck and he came out and he got the camera guy. And what I love what he said, he was like, AEW, the championship is the power. We're the flagship. We're gonna change AEW. We wanna make people step up. And the thing is, it's like Orange Cassidy, I've done everything to you. I've hurt your friend. He said, Chuck Taylor is eating his food through a straw because of you, because you couldn't save him. Well, Yuta doesn't need you. He respects me. He's loyal to me. And what I love about the whole promo, he says to him, he says, "I'm gonna make an example out of you at Full Gear." He's like, "I'm gonna myrtleize you. I'm gonna turn your face into hamburger meat so bad that his mom won't recognize him." And then Orange Cassidy comes out and says, "Look." He says, "Look." He comes out. He says, "Yeah, you got the AEW title. We could go beat." He's like, "We could go beat each other up in the parking lot and catering, but I want to wrestle." And he says, "You know what? That title to me is the foundation. It's what brought me here. It's what brought Mark here. It's for everyone. It's these fans. It's our friends. It's the focal point." And what I love that he says, he says to him, he said, "Remember when I beat you? And I'm gonna do it again." And he says that he's like, "You know what? But I gotta get rid of a pawn." And he's like, "I challenge you, Willie Yuta. You're the. I gotta get rid of the pawn to take the crown, to take the king." And I was like, and what I love about this is that he says to Willie Yuta says to him, "I'm nobody's pawn." But he said, "How about you next?" He's like, "Next week, Willie Yuta, me and you are gonna wrestle." And what I love about this whole segment, not even the fight like the fact that Darby goes out and dives on top and he's taken out and they drag him and he's literally fighting and they get in the truck and they run, they leave Willie Yuta behind for a second. And then you're looking like, where's Darby? He's in the truck. He's almost getting beat by Claudio. Claudio's trying to kill him, and he's like, "I'm still standing." The dude gets back up, and I'm still standing. Like, I love this storyline that they're doing with the Death Riders, bro. I'm loving it because, and I love that Claudio says, "Shut up" to Yuta and tell him not to say anything. But that's the thing. I love what they're doing with this storyline. Like, I love that they're giving him like Orange Cassidy is becoming the unsung hero, and he's going in a different direction that I thought he would normally do because he's got Kyle O'Reilly. He's got Rocky Romero, and he's got Mark Briscoe, and then we get a match between we get an unsanctioned match between Lance Archer and Roderick Strong. And Lance Archer is still a beast. Like he's choke slamming him. They're fighting backstage. He's choke slamming him. Roderick Strong is hitting him with a kendo stick. They're fighting. He ends up beating the crap out of him. And then Roderick Strong ends up doing the run, the running, the turnbuckle run when he punches you back, the turnbuckle run when he punches you back at fourth. He gets a chair, he knocks him out, he gets a 2 count, and then hits him with the running knee, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. Then we get Adam Cole versus Takeshita. Takeshita's already fighting Roddy and knocking him out, and he's just pouncing on him, and then Adam Cole takes off the jacket, runs in, they start fighting. The music's still going, but the match is begun. And all you see is Takeshita doing like running knees, doing the elbow, doing the European uppercut, Blue Dragon Thunder Bomb, and he tries to do the running knee on Cole. Cole does the Panama Sunrise, tries to do the boom, tries to do the boom, and then out of nowhere, Takeshita rolls out, gets the Dynamite Diamond Ring and knocks him out, gets the 1, 2, 3 for the win. I don't really think it's gonna be. Oh, I don't think the match is really off. I think it's gonna be him. I think it's gonna be Roger Strong against MJF, which is not a bad storyline. I think I know what they're doing with that. And then you see Roger Strong trying to get some payback from Takeshita, and then he just gets kicked in the stomach. And then you see Kyle O'Reilly come in with the chair, and he just rolls out. And then he gets up, helps Roderick up, helps Cole up, and they're trying to shake his hand, and he just looks at him like, nah. Just walks out, and they look at him like, really? But I also like the promo that Swerve said, like when he beat when he beat Leo Rush. Like, Leo Rush is good. I just think he needs to join the Hurt Syndicate and be better, but I think they're teasing it. And what I love about it was like, yo, they it was just speed against speed. And Leo Rush was doing the Spanish Fly. He does the Spanish Fly. I'm trying to think what is his special. I think it's still Man in the Hour, or it's I Came to Collect. I don't know what his special is. And all you see is like Swerve does the house call, he gets a 2 count. Then he does the stomp, he gets a 1 count. And then he hits him with the JML driver to get the 1, 2, 3. And he says everybody's been trying to make a name off the former AEW champion. Like, I put, everybody who's done it, who's fell. I did it like last week. I did the Shelton Benjamin. I did the Leo Rush and Heath. I did the Shelton Benjamin, and he got put down. And then you hear the music of the Hurt Syndicate, and then MVP comes out. He says, Swerve, we really like you, Swerve. We were trying to recruit you because you have some of that untapped talent. But there's one lesson that you're going to learn called strength in numbers. And then you see Bobby taking off the suit. He's unbuttoning the shirt, unbuttoning the collar. He's about to fight. And then MVP, like Shelton Benjamin, comes out and just demolishes Swerve. And then in the ring, and then Bobby just throws him against outside, and then he gets him in the he puts him in the hurt lock, and then he taps him out, and Nana's going, and nobody can help him, and you just see Leo just watching from the sidelines, like no help at all. And they get to security. He gets back up, and they leave. But what I do love, like we got a sec. I do love the Mercedes Moné segment. The thing she was gonna do a promo and said that she's better than Chris Statlander, and and she's like, Camille, pick up that jacket is $100,000. Put it in the locker room. Don't ruin it. And she's picking it up, and she's doing one arm because her arm got hurt. She hurt her arm got broken last week, and then you see Chris Statlander, and she's just beating like she just throws Camille to the wall and hurts her arm. She can't do nothing. And then they're fighting, and she's picking her up. She's picking her up, and she's saying, "Let go of me." And then she just spears her through the wall. Her and Camille through the locker room wall. Bro, that segment was fun. Then we get to the main event, the Kings of the Black Throne against FTR. Kings of the Black Throne. I like the House of Black. I know what they're doing. I love this. But no, we get to the Jamie Hater segment, and she says, "I'm here for I came back for one thing," and it doesn't really tell us what that one thing is. But I think she's here for the AEW Championship because we get a video package with with Julia Hart. I was gonna say Melissa Joan Hart, but it's Julia Hart, and we get the segment, and it's like, and you hear Brody's voice. It's time to come home, Julia. It's time to come home. And all you hear is the screaming, and then she gets the hat, she gets the bow, and she's ready to come back. And then we get a fantastic match with Britt Baker and Penelope Ford. She hits her with the hip attack from Penelope Ford. Then it's the drop kick, and then she tries to do the moonsault, she misses, and then Britt Baker basically hits her. Britt Baker gets fired up, does her signature, and then she does lockjaw, and then she tries to get out of it, and then she just has to tap. And then what I love that we got, then we get the main event between Kings of the Black Throne and FTR. And then Private Party come out with their entrance. They come out, they got the bouncer, they're drinking champagne, and they're talking about the matches, they're talking about the movesets, like all the moves and stuff. And then you see Brody King doing the cannonball. He hits Dax. Malachi hits Cash. He ends up trying to do the Dante Inferno. They get out of it. They get him. They play they do Shatter Machine, and he gets the 2 count. Then, at the last half of the match, you see Dax Harwood inside with the sleeper, and he just goes out. He fades out. He's out. And then they get the spot to be in the Fatal 4-Way at Full Gear. And then AEW's over. That was like I said, that's a fantastic show. I love what we're getting with the segments. I love the story that's going on with Mox. I think the Mox World Order, I haven't really thought about if it's clicking. It kind of is and it kind of isn't, but it's only clicking because Mox is so good on the mic. But I really think this rivalry is not going to be over at Full Gear. It probably won't end until maybe Revolution or the Continental Classic. So my guess is Orange Cassidy is going to beat him. Not at Full Gear, I think. I think he's going to beat him at Revolution. But anyway, guys, that's my video for AEW. I like to comment, subscribe. Peace.